Beyond Schizophrenia by Rosalyn Joy Ilapan Mendoza. The nature of the research for the tested species rule of species. Once achieved perfection, do not repeat. Bipolar polars, they are born perfect. They are multiple partners. Gifted children allowed to repeat. All is cultured, all is breeded, gifts of God. Dexters, reach the highest, reach the mount, reach the pinnacle, reach the alpine, tip of the iceberg, individually treated, autism, God-forsaken, Alzheimer's, routing, vain culturism, schizophrenia heard by God. Factors that may affect the probability of having schizophrenia. Smoking, drugs, and alcohol, because there were remainders of chemicals accumulated inside the human body that is not flushed. Behavioral toxicity. One behaves not in accordance with the nature of the society. That is why the persona has social anxiety. Social anxiety is the after effect of the behavioral toxicity. Intrinsic factors such as the belief of cults, religions, or ideas. Extrinsic factors such as the reality one cannot face because it is a changing world. The upbringing of the family that is affected with the genome, or the upbringing of the family affected with hereditary mental inefficiency, be it maternal, paternal, or both. Traumas encountered early through age. Understanding of feelings. As we thought humans connect with each other, as we understand or do not understand the feelings of a persona unto ourselves, as we scope and limit our environment and the community we thought we existed, as we thought we are wired with each other's perception and feelings, as we thought we are connected with humans' thought and perception unto us, knowing if it is the truth or was it just art, and a product of imagination or a part of the hallucination. The confusion of a schizophrenic mind, art and logic. As a schizophrenic hallucinates, and probably may not understand the concept of logic, that angels as demons, and any other product of imagination was just art created inside medium, and it is just a story. Brain issue of a schizophrenic downward spirals. While drinking vitamins, the patient will not encounter it. Loss of memories, as impulsive thoughts will be deleted for the patient's recovery. The connectivity of subjects and objects on their brain will be rewired, so it is in the process of relearning. Brain fog, vitamin E will help decrease brain fog. Conscience, it depends upon the person if he or she will consider conscience as true or not. Neurotoxins like toothpaste should be avoided. The changing of the biological design of the human body into adulthood. Heart changes. The thymus gland that can be found close to the heart will be converted into fat. As humans enter adulthood, liquors, drugs, beers, and smokes were encountered. Human organs will be dirty, and so the human body will be intoxicated, and is not good for the health. Lactose intolerant, the inability to digest lactose. Deposit of sludge from the throat derived from commercialized products and almond will be greater. The research proposal. A proposal of the research as a compared its diagram to a circuitry of blockish and accumulated dirt inside hardware and correcting what is inside the software. I mean to say, if a circuitry is being fixed, the circuitry is being cleaned, and the cleanliness of the hardware improves the quality of performance of the software, so that is merely the concept of the research study that I will oppose. Research and comparison persona. While risperidone and any other antipsychotic drugs use the power of adverse effects of hallucinative stimulants to counteract hallucinations and psychosis, my solution were absolution, and its purification of the human body to reduce toxicity of the human body as itself. The solution of art as it is integral, as it is not considered wrong in general, that it is just mediums. Evolution, because it is a data in general that is just not entirely obvious to everyone, that is basically just art in comparison with other belief, and that I have no teachings as it undergoes disciplinary fortes. Framework of the study. Conceiving proper ideas of reality versus beliefs. Creating patients' possibilities of reality existence through cleaning of oneself spiritually and biologically through the use of practical knowledge and releasing of toxins. considering auditory hallucinations and visual hallucinations as art, all to be part of usual flora and fauna to be as human as possible. What is the cure for schizophrenia? Classification of cure for schizophrenia. Matter of believing, attentive measure. Matter of detoxification. Additional procurement vitamin E, glutathione-L, iron, lutein, calcium, sun or steam bath, pink soda or soft drinks. Preventive measure, toothpaste, drinking of green tea or drinking of brewed coffee, deodorant. Matter of minimizing turbulence, additional procurement lavender oil. Matter of sleeping, additional procurement melatonin. Matter of heart positioning, additional procurement apple cider vinegar, test around complications. Matter of believing, attentive measure. Knowing and consideration of psychosis as art. Schizophrenic persons have impulsive thoughts unto which they believe their hallucinations that which is further seen. When logically it should be considered as art, and schizophrenic persons believe with their hallucinations, so to say that they believe with art, logically speaking religion is just art, but what can a schizophrenic do when a schizophrenic believe with angels and art? It should be known by the persons with schizophrenia that it is just art. Matter of believing, attentive measure, pushing you to the limit. As human as you are, they believed you, that's why you are. Perfect unto that particular matter. May it be a supposed outwit that will cast out their importance, as they consider themselves as the many, because you were rejected by a society or group. The many of them believed you as you are, that you were as you may believe yourself, that you just have to prove it thy will and unto your will because you are rules. Matter of believing, attentive measure, demanding of attention. Lesson 1. Subject of speaker's importance, so that you can find friends as you. As an individual, you can demand your command-receiver attention by raising your tone or looking into their eyes more, portraying that you are serious, that you need attention unto your being as you talk to your command-receiver, and you supposedly notice that it is not of importance to your command-receiver, or may you not give attention unto your command-speaker, that which portrays a possible same figure amended unto you. Matter of believing, attentive measure, demanding of attention. Lesson 2. The subject or topic that which is amended. You as command receiver should communicate and listen also to the command speaker as it is amended unto you as well. And so if not, you did not like to talk anymore, that you may change your subject or topic if you can, but the command is amended unto you as well, that may cause hindrance for the next communication as well, because the subject or topic is amended to you as well. It is expected that you would do the same as well, and so if not, you are tested. Matter of believing, attentive measure, demanding of attention. Lesson 3. The right focus, finding the right fence. An example is a ball. Ball A is the topic that you want to consider a subject, but it is ball B or ball C that is considered as amended subject or topic as well. And so if not, you get angry because that is not what you want to talk about, and you want friends that can understand your subject, but that is your ball B or ball C. That's why you look for the right friends for you, so on that it requires sameness unto your particular side of agreement or dispute, and because you are a partisan and that is politics. Matter of believing, attentive measure, the loser's view. Of course you lose the party, that's why you psycho. It doesn't matter, you can still have friends, but you will not be on the same party as it, because there were bullies. Yes, there were bullies. Bullies lived forever, not unless you prove unto them and you know how bullies were treated. That you should defeat them, outsmart them, show and prove them that you are better than them, because you can be philanthropic as well. That is why it runs with the families, and you a smart rabbit as well, so that you can outrun and outwit such discrepancies you solemnly face now. Quote, thank you for listening unto such protocols, but really, it is very amendable and can be solutionized by detoxification, because those psychotic tendencies were further apprehended, talking as them as plants preparing for your journey, as you were tested because you're a rat, but is really detoxification that will solutionize it, because it is toxicity of such behavior you have that is not recognizable because you were not seen partying and drinking beers. Matter of detoxification. Considering the human body is a material we have our caprice, it is smoking, it is drinking, intoxicating ourselves with cigarettes and liquors until we abuse our human body, but not detoxifying it. Our liver sacrifices for drinking too much, and other materials ingested like drugs and other poisons, so we need detoxification of the human body to maintain health, and I consider vitamin E, glutathione-L, lutein, iron, calcium culturate, sun or steam bath, and green soda or soft drinks as a detoxifying agent. Additional procurement vitamin E. Vitamin E is not produced by the human body, but even the plants need it. The characteristic of obtaining vitamin E from plants and grains vary from person to person, so consuming vitamin E that is not produced by the human body is crucial for curing of schizophrenia. Additional procurement glutathione-L. Glutathione-L plays an important role of detoxifying the liver from drugs and poisons when ingested. Some products of nitrogen fixation were not excreted by the bile and were stuck inside the liver. Additional procurement lutein. I consider lutein as a detoxifying agent because it cleanses the eyes. The cornea and the nerves of the eyes will be nourished and clean, and it aids the adjustment of the patients with schizophrenia. Additional procurement iron. Iron strengthens the nerves and fibers. Iron is the initiator of oxygen-free radicals inside the brain. Additional procurement calcium cartridge. Calcium Culturate Plus helps absorb calcium ingested so as to make the bones heavier to possibly correct the vertebrae and cartilage that were misaligned. Additional procurement sonar steam bath. Sonar steam bath drains the drowsiness of the brain that causes paranoia to the individual. Additional procurement pink soda or soft drinks, Mountain Dew or Pepsi Cola. Mountain Dew and Pepsi Cola. I use pink soda or soft drinks as a part of the menu for the proper healing and curing of schizophrenia because it is osmo. Osmo could also mean the sugar right for the situation of the said human, as it needs proper sugar osmosis as it undergoes sugar harmonization for the said individual, and not by just weirdness of sugar that is frogs dirt patches that is considered as their feelings as frogs for the said mafia, so therefore, if they will be considered as one. I suggest to drink Mountain Dew for 1 year to drain sludges of rare fungi, and also it helps strengthen spongy nerves. I suggest to drink Pepsi Cola for 1 year because it helps lessen the anxiety. Preventive measure toothpaste. Toothpaste is a neurotoxin according to some studies. Preventive measure green tea or brewed coffee. Drinking green tea or brewed coffee prevents the sludges that took fire inside your throat. It drains the sludges onto your throat brought to you by Omen and commercialized products. It will prevent the accumulation of sludges so thus it will drain the sludges inside throat. Preventive measure deodorant. Not using of deodorant in the long run is hygienic for the lymphatic system. Lymphatic system is unto where antibodies were born. Lymph glands is connected to your saliva, so it is for the cleanliness of the fluids. Matter of minimizing turbulence. Additional procurement lavender oil. Lavender oil helps minimize libido while it attacks on the periods when it is not needed that causes turbulence in an individual. Matter of sleeping pattern. To regulate sleeping pattern, just drink melatonin at night. Matter of heart positioning, maple cider vinegar. There is a tendency of not sleeping because of listening to heartbeat. And that is loud if the heart pumps. It is loud for the ears. And with that, you shall sleep without listening to it, so apple cider vinegar will help position the heart. Test run. The procedure was meant for 2 years of running. The patient has grasping capability of 3 months and expectation. After 12 months of speculation of the procedure, you can decrease your vitamins to vitamin C, calcium culturate plus, and vitamin E because it is very cold to feel. Melatonin will be used for the sleeping pattern for always and also for sleep regulation. Moreover, as of January 31, 2020, I am now taking in vitamin E, calcium culturate plus, and melatonin. And that is the extent of the purse that is thrifted without grogginess and also living a healthy life. Complications. The patient will have back pains. The patient will have low tolerance from coffee, energy drinks, and many other caffeinated drinks. After drinking Pepsi Cola for so many times and drinking the necessary vitamins, the patient will have low utterance of speech, making the patient sound and feel calmer to the speaker and to the patient himself. Apprehended concept of Rosalind Joy 11 Mendoza, a research study in proposal for schizophrenia cure. Have a nice day!